Hello everybody, this is Big Boss Calvin 83. Today what we're going to talk about is how and why women can't find a man, let alone a good man. When I hear women file their complaint about not being able to find a good man or just a man period, I scratch my head, because what do you mean you're having a hard time finding a man? We can have it in reverse, where men having a hard time finding women, when we see women everywhere, that you can possibly talk to. But when it comes to women, it's like, what do you mean you can't find a man when you are drop dead gorgeous, especially where you got men everywhere, and you have men coming at you. So what do you mean you can't find a good man? So you got to think about that for a second. Now, I think we can get an understanding out of this. To you women out there, when you say you can't find a good man, or just you can't find a man, and you can't keep a man, what are you doing? Because sometimes we as people make things harder and more complicated than what they already are. I'll say it again. We as people sometimes make things difficult and harder than what it already is. So the question is, to women, how in the hell do you have a hard time finding a man, especially when you got men coming at you all over the place? Maybe you're too picky. Maybe you go by looks, stats, fame, and money. That can be the reason why. No, actually, I take that back. That is the reason why. The problem is you women go by looks, stats, fame, and money. You look at a guy from 1 to 5 seconds and stereotype most of the men out. You have this huge list of high expectations that you can't even live up to yourself. If a man had those high expectations, you call them shallow and superficial, and you need to go on what's on the inside. I'm like, well, the question is to you women, what do you mean by the inside? We'll get back to that later. So, to women my question is, how many guys approach you every day? Because if you're especially an attractive woman, you got like at least 200 men coming at you every week. Yeah. Even if you want to say, well, there's some women who are not attractive, but guess what? Nobody tells you that the woman who's considered unattractive thinks the exact same way as an attractive woman does. She got the same entitlement issues. Yes. To you men out there, if you're going after women who you consider unattractive because you think you got an easy chance of getting some, guess what? You got another thing coming, because because when an attractive woman has these high list of expectations and these unrealistic standards, the ugly woman got those same standards and high list of expectations, and they got all the say so and all the pick, just like the attractive woman. So you might as well go for the woman that you like, because women, whether they're unattractive or not, the thing is, they've been placed on the pedestal while the man's being suppressed down, and they got entitlement issues, and they got unrealistic expectations of what they want in a guy, and they think that the perfect man that fits their fantasy Disney image exists when he doesn't exist. There's no such thing as a perfect person. There's no such thing as a perfect man, and there's no such thing as a perfect woman. So let's get down to business. So to women, how many men approach you on it? I'll be honest. How often do you have men approaching you? If you don't understand the question, I'll be blunt. How often do you have men approaching you left and right? And how often do you have men looking your way every time they see you? You know men turn heads every time you walk by. So the problem is with a lot of you women is you're superficial, you're shallow, materialistic, and selfish. That's why you have a hard time finding a man. You want a man to make 6 figures, but you don't make 6 figures. And why does he have to make 6 figures? If you're strong and independent, shouldn't you be able to pull your own weight and support yourself? How come it can't be we both support each other? You know, because the majority of men and people, period, don't make 6 figures. Yeah. I think the average income for people, most men don't make the majority of men don't make over $100,000 a year. So when you say you want a man to make 6 figures, guess what? You already shrunk you already missed out on many opportunities to have a man. You already cheated yourself. You follow what I'm saying? You already eliminated 90% of your dating pool. Same with some of you women want a man who has a college degree. You won't talk to a man who doesn't have a college degree. By the way, only 20% of people in America have college degrees. Only 20%. So you women, you already shrunk your dating pool again. But you'll fuck a bad boy and a fucking thug who has nothing to offer but just dick. So let's go back to approaching. So a lot of you women, you mean how many men approach you? And I'm pretty sure you got like 1,000 to you get I'm pretty sure you got every month you have an average from 100 to 1,000 guys approaching you through that month. Now you can do the math. So that means you got like at least 200 men coming at you every week approaching you. You get approached all the time, but you turn down these guys. That's your problem. And what makes it so bad is that you want a man to approach you, and you want a man with confidence, which we know is bullshit, because it's not about confidence. You only like a man who's confident if you already find him attractive, and if he's good looking, especially if he got money. That's when confidence is important. If he don't have good looks, good money, and don't have a way of talking to women, if he don't have, if he doesn't have swag, or isn't smooth with his mouth and suave, if he doesn't have any of those things, then no amount of confidence is going to get the girl. No amount of self-improvement will get the chick. My question is, does a woman have to speak a certain way? Does she have to have confidence? Hell no. And confidence is a fucking lie. Because a man doesn't have to have confidence to get a woman. If he's got good looks and if he's got status, especially if he got money, she already finds him attractive. So confidence is just a critical aspect. It's just a confidence is women like confidence of man if they already find them attractive. It's just a long distance element. If that makes any sense. It's not the be all end all. Women only find men Confidence is only is attractive to a woman if she already finds the guy attractive, especially if he's good looking, and especially if he got money, especially if he got other women coming at him. Okay? And the thing, back to approaching, is so you have all these men coming at you, and you stereotype them out from 1 to 5 seconds. You reject every man that comes your way. And what makes matters worse with you shooting down these men is that that when a man talks to you, you insult the guy, you're disrespectful, you're rude, you're obnoxious, you're condescending, you're belligerent, and you embarrass the man and make him feel bad about himself, and then you feel big, hurting the guy's feelings because you think you're hurting his feelings when you're actually hurting yourself in the long run. So because of the humiliation, and then men gotta go through the fear of, if he comes at you, if an undesirable man talks to a woman and you find the guy not attractive because he don't fit your high list of expectations, because he don't fit your fantasy image, then you want to get him for street harassment, sexual harassment, or you want to accuse him of rape if a man want to get intimate with you, and then you look at him and saying you don't want to have sex with him because he don't look good, or he ain't good in bed, some other dumb shit. So because of you make the man feel bad for himself because he approached you and insulted him and disrespected him and just been outright hostile. I don't care if you had a bad day. At least be respectful. At least be polite. I mean, at least get to know the man first before you reject him. No, you women don't do that. And then you wonder why men don't approach you. And these are the reasons why you got men going their own way, don't fucking want to approach you, don't want to give you any attention because of the consequences. And then you got these anti-male laws in place where if a man makes the wrong move, he can go to jail. Yeah. So you turn down these guys, all these men, and then you scare men off of approaching you. You basically leave a sour taste in our mouths, ladies, that we don't want to approach you anymore. And then so you hurt your chances of trying to get a man. You destroyed your chances. That's how stupid you women are. You don't use your brains. And then you see men all over the place, and you don't approach them. You see, even if you see a mutual interest, you don't want to approach the man for some other reason. Even though you complain about a fucking man shortage, which doesn't exist because women create their own fucking man shortage, which I will explain later in the video. So you file these complaints, but you don't approach men. I guess because you're afraid of getting your own medicine. You're afraid of getting your feelings hurt because there's men who have rejected women. There's men who have rejected women their damn selves, and women have actually cried about getting rejected. So you like to dish it, but you can't take your own fucking medication, which is sad. And then you women come up with all these excuses of, well, I don't believe in approaching a man. A man should approach me. All right, for what the fuck for? What do you have to offer? What does he got to gain from approaching you? For every beautiful woman, there's 1,000 other beautiful women better looking than you, but you don't think that. And then you want to question a man's manhood and question his sexuality, rather if he's gay or not, because he doesn't want to fucking approach you. Or you call him a lame because he doesn't have any game. So then you women say, well, I don't approach men because I don't want to be aggressive. But you're fucking aggressive when it comes to find out the man's living situation. Does he have his own place, or does he live with family still? Or does he live with a roommate If he lives with family still, if he lives with a roommate, then you don't want to talk to him. So it comes to finding out his living situation, where he works, what does he do for a living, and how much money does he make, and his bank account, and what kind of car he has, right? He has a car or not. You are aggressive as hell. And you are very aggressive when you make fucking demands where a man should do this for you and do that for you. You're very fucking aggressive. So miss me with that bullshit. Because that's what it really is, bullshit. You are aggressive. When you say, buy me a drink, you're being aggressive. When you make demands that a man should be a certain way and look this particular image and have this and have that, you are being fucking aggressive. So miss me with that bullshit. Onward. Then we got to look at the woman's mindset, the woman's attitude, the reason why she's still single. Is it because you women want to aspire to be strong and independent? If you watch my previous video, I debunked that women being strong and independent. You know, you women talk about you strong and independent. You women claim to be strong and independent, and you don't need a man, but everything you have, rather the clothes on your back, the place that you live, and the car you drive, the roads and the buildings and the houses and the cities that you live in and reside in, those were built by men. The company that you work for is run by a man. The man that writes your checks. Okay? You know, if it wasn't for affirmative action, you wouldn't have a just over broke. Okay? So you need to think about it. Men gave you your privileges. Men gave you your rights. Especially your special rights, and giving you female privilege to do whatever the fuck you want to do, and don't take no personal responsibility for your fucking actions and your fuck ups. So you need to give men credit, but you women, because men have made everything and invented everything so you can be cushy. Even fought in wars just so you can be cushy and take the freedoms and liberties that you have for granted. So we got to look at the woman's mindset. She's strong and independent, but she's crying that she can't get a man, and she's still sleeping alone with her fucking vibrator that a man created. So, and then you women just have these demands that, well, he got to make this amount of money. He got to at least make the same amount I'm making. I mean, why does that matter? I understand you don't want a freeloader, but you say a man needs to be on your financial level. But if he is, then when you have this equality, then there's a power struggle. And a lot of you women don't want no power struggle with a man. So that's why some of you women would take men who are lazy, don't want to do. You know, you take these men who are not not financially stable and broke, or I should say poor, and you coddle these guys and you claim you're taking care of these guys because you want dick, because you don't want to go up against a man who's financially stable and more established than you and is on point, because you want to run shit. That's the problem right there. Women are control freaks. What else I can think of? I know I'm going over the places with this video, but bear with me. And I'm back. So because, you know, a lot of you women want a man to make a lot of money, even though you claim you're strong and independent, which you are not. If you want a man to have more than you, so you can take advantage of him financially, especially when it comes to marriage, kids. You know, you want to get alimony and child support. Then you claim that you're strong. You're not strong, you're weak. But, you know, what we're talking about is women not being able to find a man. Well, here's they do. They stereotype men for 1 to 5 seconds. They reject every man. They refuse to approach a man that they seem to be interested in. So, I don't understand why they're complaining, and they want a man to be a certain way and match their fantasy image, which doesn't work. That's not reality. So these women have unrealistic expectations and standards of what a man should be, and that's why they're alone. They're also alone because they're feminist. They got a feminazi mindset, and a lot of these same women hate men for some odd reason, thanks to feminism and in this gynocentric society that we live in, and the promotion of misandry. So the problem is a lot of these women who can't have a man and can't keep a man, and I gotta get to can't keep a man later on. So you can't say you want a man when you fucking hate men for whatever reason. And then when it comes down to intimacy and love, you women want a man to pleasure you and please you this way, but you don't want to please him. You don't want to, and when it comes to sex, you don't want to contribute. You talk about the sex was horrible, but you did. I'm like, yes, of course the sex was horrible because you didn't do anything. You don't communicate what you like, what you're into, because you're afraid of being judged as a slut. When in actuality, if you were open and honest and about what you're into, you're not going to be judged as a slut if you're talking about what you like and dislike when it comes to intimacy. The only times there's a problem if you go from guy to guy to guy. And a lot of you women do whore around and very promiscuous, especially in today's times. And a lot of you don't know how to take care of a man and satisfy a man. And a lot of you refuse to do that because you can't identify what a good man is. You can't judge a man based on his morals, his character, rather if he's responsible or not, rather if he's ambitious or not. You really don't know what to look for. You look for superficial bullshit. You think a man who practices honesty, seniority, and dependability is boring. You call us lames if men fit that description. And it goes back to women being picky. And a lot of you women have all the choice, all the say so in the dating scene. You do. You have all the choice, all the say so, and you have the privilege of picking a man that you want. A man that you want to have sex with or not. You women have a lot more power than you think. Many of you women say you want nice guys, but you go for these thugs, these bad boys, and these white knights and these manginas and these simps. And then, you purposely go after these guys because you want control and you think that it's easier to get the dick. And then you cry and bitch when you get taken advantage of. So you really have no room to complain. Real talk, it's easy for a woman to find a good man than it is for a man to find a good woman. If there was such a man shortage, the first nice guy that you see, you would be trying to hook him up. You be trying to tackle us. You would be beating down our doors. But you women don't, because you don't get hot and wet between the legs when it comes to one nice guy. You got these false perceptions that he's not good in bed. And I'm like, how do you know? You never been with him. So how would you know? If he don't walk a certain way, he's not attractive to other women. I'm like, why would you want a man to be attracted to other women when guys who's successful with women like that and can attract other women because they're desirable, they're not going to stay faithful to your ass. You believe in monogamy, Well, the best route for you to have a man who's monogamous is to be with a nice guy, a good man, because a good man that's all about family and building a prosperous relationship and a strong family. You don't want that. You want to do what you want to do without no consequences and repercussions, and it doesn't work that way. And your problem is there's no man. You women don't have a man shortage, because if you had a man shortage, you'd be trying to lock down every nice guy that you see. You'd be trying to lock down any men that you see. Period. You wouldn't be so picky. You wouldn't have all these entitlement issues. You wouldn't be so selfish and materialistic and superficial. You would actually take time to get to know every man that you talk to. But you don't. You go by strictly looks and image and money. Stuff that cannot give you 50 years of love and being with the same person for 50 to 70 years. Like your grandparents had that kind of relationship. Many of our grandparents and great-grandparents had marriages that led to death do us part. And in closing, your final problem, ladies, is that many of you women chase 20% of the men. And you got to go with this competition. The main problem is that you women are chasing bad boys, thugs, assholes, jerks, simps, mangianas, and other men that you consider no good. So I don't understand if you say these men are no good, but why do you keep fucking them? Because you keep avoiding the good man, the nice guy, I should say. I mean, there's more of us nice guys than these bad boys and thugs and jerks that you complain about, but you still fuck them. And it's out of ignorant reasons, such as, oh, he's a challenge. I'm like, what do you mean is a challenge? Who would want somebody to be a challenge and be difficult and be difficult for you to coexist and get along with? It don't make any sense. It does not make no sense. And he's mysterious and all that stuff. Basically inconsistent. The point is you need, I'm not saying deal with a pushover, but what women need to do is go for a man who's consistent. Go for a man who's honest. Go for a man who's responsible. Go with a man who has integrity. Practices honesty, sincerity, and dependability. Somebody you can rely on. Someone who does his best to make you happy. But no, you don't want that. All that stuff is not exciting. You want turmoil. You want drama. You want to have arguments. You want to have all these things that are toxic. And you wonder why y'all still single. I mean, most of you women are single because of your own fault. The majority of women are still single and manless is because of your own fault, and you fell for the feminist bullshit. I mean, basically what you women want is a patriarchal man that to matriarchy specification. You want male responsibility and devoid of male leadership. That's what you want, but men are not going for that. And we're not going to do that. So either you shape up or you're going to have to go, you're going to have to marry yourself. You know, like you're going to have to be like that fat woman in Texas to marry yourself. Because that's the only person who can put up with your shit is you. So, ladies, you got to decide, do you want attention or not? Do you want a man to treat you with respect, and you want a man to love you for you? But you got to love him for him. You got to love each other unconditionally. If you can't do that, then you shouldn't be complaining. The choice, women, to you women out there, you have a lot more power than you think. You can influence a man to be good or bad. If you keep choosing bad, you're going to get bad men over and over again. Don't you understand? So what y'all need to do is go for the man who has the good heart. And that's all I got to say. Go for the man who has a good heart. And then you have an abundance of men who want to be good, because there's a reward for being good, not bad. That's all I gotta say. I'm out. Peace.